Hi class, my name is Holly Moran. I'm going to try to go in the order of the questions for this post. So I am originally from Chicago, Illinois, but I currently reside and work in Indianapolis, Indiana as a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes educator. So when I first think of environmental health, I think more immediately about the land, the trees, or our climate. But I know from what I've read in previous classes that our environment is anything that surrounds us. So it could be more direct influences such as our homes that we live in, the food that we eat, the water that we drink. So I would define environmental health as anything that surrounds us or influences us, whether direct or indirect, that can impact our health. So if I could go anywhere in the world I haven't been, it would be Europe. My ancestors are from Poland and Germany, so I have always wanted to go to those places and just kind of see where my great-grandparents grew up. So a particular area of environmental health that I'm interested in, being a registered dietitian, I'm very interested in food. So I want to learn more about food safety regulations. I know a lot about how food's processed and how it's distributed, but I want to know more about how that's regulated through public health policies. And another topic that I think we should all be concerned about is climate change. So I would love to learn more about that and how that's impacting our health. So some factors that influence the community that I live in, my neighborhood. I live on the near east side of Indianapolis, and this is an area that is currently in the process of gentrification. A lot of changes going on. This is a pretty poor area, food desert in the city. And so there's a lot of foreclosed homes, and a lot of these foreclosed homes have been getting remodeled and turned into these $200,000 to $500,000 homes in our neighborhood, which is crazy from what they were before. And so what this is doing is it's pushing a lot of people out of the neighborhood because they can't afford these very expensive homes. I would not be able to afford an expensive home like that. So a lot of these homes, though, not all of them have been foreclosed. Some people are still living in very unsafe homes that could potentially have exposure to radon or carbon monoxide or bed bugs, lead, mold, things like that. I've seen some of the houses in my neighborhood from the outside, and I can tell that they are probably not safe homes to live in. So this is a big issue in my own neighborhood. So defining toxicology, I would think of toxicology as the study of toxic substances, and toxic substances are not good for our health. I could think of some things that are probably man-made and, chemicals in labs. There's also some naturally occurring toxic substances like lead. So I think it's really important that we learn about this because these substances affect our health. And so we need to learn how to protect ourselves from these substances. And finally, how the environment has impacted my own health or my family members. So I grew up in inner city Chicago, so I was obviously exposed to a lot of air pollution. Chicago is not the most polluted city in this country. Unfortunately, it's a lot of California cities that are, but Chicago, according to the American Lung Association, is in the top 20. So I don't have any short-term effects from being exposed to air pollution, but I'm very curious by living in cities my whole life if I am going to have any sort of long-term repercussions from that. I do have some family members that grew up around secondhand cigarette smoke. So I do know of that being a toxic substance that they were exposed to, and they now deal with asthma, allergies, bronchitis, things like that. So that's family members that I can think of in my own life. So that is just a little bit about me and some of the questions that I answered. Thanks so much for watching.